Anta Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Yuga Dharma Harinam Sankirtan Yoga ki jai. Priya Madanga Transcendental Book Distribution ki jai. Transcendental Krishna Prasadam Distribution ki jai. Gaur Premanandi. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga.
Hari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari. Jai Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Brajadana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajadana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajadana Ranjana. Jamunatira Vanachari. Jamunatira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Hey Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Hey Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Oh Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hey Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Hey Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Oh Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Hey Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Radhe. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Radhe. Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe Radhe. Jai Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe Radhe. Jai Radha Kalachandji Radha Kalachandji Radhe Radhe. Jaya Radha Kalachandji Radha Kalachandji Radhe Radhe. Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaura Hari Bol. Jai Nitai Jai Gaur. Anitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaura Hari Bol. Harinama Sankirtana ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gauda Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Thank you. So, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 29, Texts 24 through 27. Can someone start?
Text 23 or 24?
Whatever you
24.
say. I don't know. Huh?
The 24. The highest religious duty for a woman is to sincerely serve her husband, behave well towards her husband's family, and take good care of her children.
You got that? No, sorry. You too.
Women who desire good destination, the next life, should never abandon a husband who has not fallen from his religious standards, even if he is obnoxious, unfortunate, old, unintelligent, sickly or poor.
For a woman from respectable family, petty adulterous affairs are always condemned. They bar her from heaven, ruin her reputation, and bring her difficulty and fear.
Transcendental love for me arises by devotional process of hearing about me, seeing my deity form and meditating on me and faithfully chanting my glories. The same result is not achieved by mere physical proximity. So, please go back to your homes.
Okay, now we'll do the focus verse in the Sanskrit we can do together. Text 25. Chapter 29. Text 10. Dushilo durbago vrido jadorogya danopiva patistribir nahatavyo lokepshubir apataki Dushilo durbago vrido jadoragya danopiva patistribir nahatavyo lokepshubir apataki Dushilo durbago vrido jadoragya danopiva patistribir nahatavyo lokepshubir apataki So we'll do the synonyms together. Dushilaha, of bad character. Durbhagaha, together, unfortunate. Vriddhaha, old. Jadaha, retarded. Rogi, sickly. Adana, poor. Appiva, even. Pattihi, the husband. Stribihi, by women. Nahatavaha, should not be rejected. Loka, a good destination in the next life. Ipshubihi, who desire. Apataki, if he is not fallen. So, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki. Women who desire a good destination in the next life should never abandon a husband who has not fallen from his religious standards, even if he is obnoxious, unfortunate, old, unintelligent, sickly, or poor. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, or Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti quotes a similar statement from Smriti Shastra. Patim tvapatitam bhajet. One should serve a master who is not fallen. Sometimes the foolish argument is given that even if a husband falls down from spiritual practices, his wife should continue to follow him since he is her quote unquote guru. In fact, since Krishna consciousness cannot be subordinated to any other religious principle, a guru who engages his follower in materialistic sinful activities loses his status as a guru. Srila Prabhupada stated that the system of monarchy collapsed in Europe because the monarchs abused and exploited their position. Similarly, in the Western world, men have abused and exploited women, and now there is a popular movement in which women reject the authority of their husbands. Ideally, men should be staunch in spiritual life and give pure, sincere guidance to the women under their care. The gopis, of course, being on the highest platform of spiritual perfection, were transcendental to all positive and negative religious considerations. In other words, they were the eternal lovers of the absolute truth. So let's do the Mangala Charna. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagarjatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gauda Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Women who desire a good destination in the next life should never abandon a husband who has not fallen from his religious standards, even if he is obnoxious, unfortunate, old, unintelligent, sickly, or poor. So who's speaking here from the kids? Kids get to answer first. Jaishnav, who's speaking? Who's he saying is speaking? Yeah, Jaishnav says Krishna. Nainanvita, is he right? Yeah, so sometimes when you just read a little section, to me it's like if you ever see those magnifying glass that goes so close to something you can't even tell what it is, so sometimes you need to zoom out. So I'm very thankful and grateful for this opportunity to serve the Srimad Bhagavatam class, because in preparing for the class it was very absorbing. That's why I always like to say this, that whoever doesn't give class should give class because it's very absorbing. Like I told my wife last night, I was like, even if something happens and I don't give class tomorrow, Krishna gave me what I needed. By studying for the class, it's so absorbing, because it's one thing that we muster up our energy for our own Krishna consciousness in our personal lives and sadhana, but then when we're asked to speak in front of the devotees specifically, it really accelerates the absorption. So please take this as a request for those that don't give class to give class. And even if it's a small, doesn't have to be in the temple room, it can be like people do online, or even to your friend, share what you've read, but make a point to repeat. So let's zoom back and think of what's the circumstances here. We know that these are the topmost pastimes of Krishna, right? That Krishna has just played his flute, and specifically to call the gopis to him for loving exchanges in Vrindavan, in the forests, on the full moon, on the Sharat Purnim. So he plays his flute, and the gopis hear the flute. How many of us would like to hear Krishna play the flute? Me too. So sometimes it's said that the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the incarnation of the flute. So when we can meditate like that when we're chanting. That's like when we were in Sadhu Sangha, I heard Sri Prahlad, when he was doing his kirtan, he said a beautiful thing, that when we chant, that's our prayer and our offering to Krishna. But when we hear, that's Krishna's response back to us. I was thinking it's the same thing. You're saying it and hearing at the same time, right? So it's simultaneously, it's what we're, a prayer of giving ourselves in service to Krishna, chanting of the Mahamantra, and it's also a gift in reciprocation from Krishna to hear the holy names. So Krishna, he played the flute on that beautiful Vrindavan full moon night, and all the gopis, they heard Krishna's flute sound, and what happened then? They were so spiritually excited or attracted that whatever they were doing, who can think of different things that happened that they gave up? Maybe we can go around, each one can share one thing. You remember from the kid? Let's start with the kids. What did the gopis do in their haste? You know that word haste? They were feeling, oh, I have to go to the call of Krishna. What did they stop, or what happened? Yeah, some of them were breastfeeding their infants. They stopped, put them down. Jaishnav, one thing? Some were taking care of their relatives, but they stopped and they ran towards Krishna. Raseshri, you want to say one thing? No? Okay, that's fine also. Yes, some of them were so excited that they also put their clothing on the wrong way, right? The top part they put on the bottom. The bottom part they put on the top. Their jewelry they put in different places. They put it anywhere or half, getting the kajal, just so excited to serve Krishna and to please Krishna. So now this section is the topmost, right? As like, the previous speakers, they always would start off the class by, I'm so unqualified to speak on these topics and whatnot. Because the gopis have the topmost love, and we were meant, just like I was listening to a Prabhupada class just before coming here, and I forgot what I was going to say. Prabhupada was saying that, well, let me just play a little clip real fast. I'll get back to that.
Nobody thinks, no, he is dying, so I will have to die. No, he thinks I will live. He is dying. This is the most wonderful thing. He does not think that I have seen, my father has died, my mother has died, my brother has died, so everyone has died, so I will die. So what I am doing before death? And they are not serious. Not at all serious. But death is as sure as death. And we do not know when that death is coming to take place. So how much serious we should be? We should be very serious. Labdha sudullamamidam bahusambhavante. We have got this human form of body, human consciousness, advanced consciousness, after many, many births, through the evolutionary process. Many millions of years, we have passed through many species of life. Asiting chaturang shaiva.
Okay, that's what happens. This is also a good recommendation. If you forget what you want to say, just have something ready from Prabhupada. No, but that's what I wanted to get at from the beginning of the class was, what is the purpose of Krishna consciousness? Why do we read about Krishna's pastimes? Why do we chant? What's the goal of life? What's the purpose of life? Krishna Prema, to revive our original dormant love for the Lord. And that's what we're hearing about here, is the topmost lovers of Krishna. And it's meant to inspire us to go deeper into our desire to revive our dormant loving relationship with the Lord. There's different relationships that we can have with the Lord. How many, generally? 4? What are they? Can you speak in the mic? You do it, Tulsi. You have the...
Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya.
What is that?
Dasya is in loving servitorship. Sakhya is in friendship. Vatsalya is in parental love. And Madhurya is conjugal love.
Yeah, so here we're hearing about the Lord's most intimate lovers, or the most intimate devotees, and how they are loving Krishna and how Krishna is loving them. And what's the, like we heard that word udipan, right? It means stimuli, right? What is the purpose of this? It's meant to stimulate something within our heart. That are we inspired? Basically, what checks our progress in spiritual life is that we're holding back a bit. Okay, we read these pastimes. I don't want to be dealt with like that, right? Krishna's completely teasing them, right? To the max. First he calls them, he attracts them, like Krishna means all attractive, right? His form is unlimitedly beautiful. His qualities are so unlimitedly charming. Whatever he does, why does he play the flute? To specifically enchant and attract the loving reciprocation of his devotees. So he plays his flute. And what is Vrindavan doing? The whole beautiful atmosphere. It's like I was reading in one of Shivaram Swami's books about the beauty of Radhakund. And around Radhakund, there's it's explained that Radhakund is non-different from Radharani, right? And Shyamakund is non-different from Krishna. And then also around Radhakund, there's the 8 main primary gopis, and they have their kunjas and their kunds. And around Shyamakund are the 8 main gopas, kunds. And Shivaram Swami was taking from the Goswami's literatures and explaining the exquisite beauty of these kunjas. And I was just thinking, I was closing my eyes, I was thinking in the Bhagavad Gita it says that whatever beautiful and splendorous thing we see in the material world is just a spark of Krishna's splendor. So then I was thinking, okay, I've seen waterfalls and mountains and rivers and some beauty, some of Krishna's beauty, but it's just a spark of Krishna's splendor. Imagine the beauty of Goloka Vrindavan. It's non-different from Krishna also. It's explained that just like Radhakund is non-different from Radharani, just like I think a few classes ago somebody was talking about Govardhan. Was it you, Manjari Gopika, that said about Govardhan being a personal expansion that came from Krishna's heart? And so, yeah, Radharani wanted a special place to have their pastimes. So Krishna, in reciprocation with Radharani's desire to be with Krishna and exchange pure love, manifested, so to speak, although it's eternal, that's another one of those achinta beta tattva things, that although it's eternal, it came from Krishna's desire to reciprocate with Radharani's desire to exchange pure loving reciprocations. And that is non-different. Then Govardhan is non-different from Krishna. Vrindavan is non-different from Krishna. And the beauty of Vrindavan is meant to attract the soul's service attitude to go deeper and deeper. So that's what is happening here also. It's Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam. What does that mean? That it's an ever-increasing ocean of bliss. So Vrindavan's beauty is increasing. The full moon, the lotus flowers, everything is meant to enhance the desires of the souls, increasing their offerings to Krishna. So when we hear these things, it's meant if we just sometimes just focus, hey, Krishna's teasing, that's he called them there purposefully for enjoying with them, reciprocating with their pure loving desire to be with him. And then they got there with so much trouble. And then what does Krishna do? He immediately says, "Oh, you've come. That's how may I serve you? What is your business here?" It is like he was an official. He became, this is all part of the mood of enhancing the loving reciprocation. So we have to see the underlying spiritual reality. And then Krishna, now we see that Krishna starts to quote, starts to talk about dharma, so to speak. What is your duty as a being a woman? But they're not women. I mean, they're not women. They're not mundane. They don't have bodies made of material energy. They don't have any duties according to, mundane morality. Because ultimately they've already surpassed, so to speak. I mean, they're eternal. Some of them, most of them, are eternally liberated souls, just like we heard in previous classes. That some of them were the Municharis, and they were, what are Municharis? The ones that were attracted to Ramchandra? Is that right? So they were already very elevated sadhakas, and when they were seeing Ram, because their worshipful deity was Gopal, they had a desire, a spiritual desire to serve Krishna or to please Krishna, knowing that Krishna likes these kind of loving affairs. They desired to do that. So then Ramchandra said in his heart, without saying anything, I read, that in the future you'll be able to do that service. You'll be given the blessings to have that relationship with Krishna. And then they got the opportunity. They took birth in Vrindavan to gopis, and now some of them, just like we heard previously that some of the gopis were held back. Some of the gopis were held back by their husbands and relatives, and they couldn't go to see Krishna while Krishna was calling them by playing the flute. And what happened? We remember the verse that they, because of their intense spiritual desire to be with Krishna, that they gave up their material bodies. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that they didn't die, but they gave up. They might have been some of the Municharis that may have a tiny bit of tinge of material energy still covering their spiritual bodies, so to speak, and that's what was given up. That intense desire to be with Krishna and being checked in separation, that burned up any vestiges, any small amount of material energy that was still part of their journey, so to speak. And then at a future Ras dance, they were able to go. So I'd like to read a little bit from Krishna book. And also I recommend, sometimes when we just zone in on one part of the pastime or one part of the Bhagavatam, it really doesn't fully give us what we need. So while studying for the class, I read the chapter of this in Krishna book, and I read a little from this book by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, comments on the 10th canto called Shartha Darshani, and it really helped me get absorbed. So here's one part that Prabhupada says in the Krishna book. This is the gopis after Krishna spoke to them in this bewildering way, in this, teasing them or, inducing more intense love, basically. This is just 2 paragraphs of their part of their response. "O dear Krishna," they continued, "you are the supreme instructor. There is no doubt about it. Your instructions to women to be faithful to their husbands and to be merciful to their children, to take care of homely affairs and to be obedient to the elderly members of the family are surely just according to the tenets of Shastras. But we know also that all these instructions of the Shastras may be observed perfectly by keeping oneself under the protection of your lotus feet. Our husbands, friends, family members, and children are all dear and pleasing to us only because of your presence, for you are the super soul of all living creatures. Without your presence, one is worthless. When you leave the body immediately dies, and according to the injunctions of the Shastra, a dead body must immediately be thrown in a river or burned. Therefore, ultimately, you are the dearmost personality in this world. By placing our faith and love in your personality, there is no chance of our being bereft of husband, friends, sons, or daughters. If a woman accepts you as the supreme husband, then she will never be bereft of her husband, as in the bodily concept of life. If we accept you as our ultimate husband, then there is no question of being separated, divorced, or widowed. You are the eternal husband, eternal son, eternal friend, and eternal master, and one who enters into a relationship with you is eternally happy. Since you are the teacher of all religious principles, your lotus feet first have to be worshipped. Accordingly, the Shastras state, Acharya Upasana. The worship of your lotus feet is the first principle. Besides that, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita, I think that's Prabhupada's injection. I mean, in the sense they're quoting Bhagavad Gita. You are the only enjoyer. You are the only proprietor, and you are the only friend. As such, we have come to you, leaving aside all so-called friends, society, and love, and now you have become our enjoyer. Let us be everlastingly enjoyed by you. Be our proprietor, for that is your natural claim, and be our supreme friend, for you are naturally so. Let us thus embrace you as the supreme beloved. Hari Om Tat Sat. So this is so enlivening that this is the goal of every soul, is that we revive our dormant loving relationship with Krishna, and the gopis are the supreme epitome of what it is to love Krishna and give Krishna pleasure, and we're unlimitedly blessed by Srila Prabhupada to even be able to contemplate such elevated spiritual topics, right? So one time I heard my guru say that to the degree that we're grateful to what Prabhupada has given us, to that degree, that's our spiritual advancement. So gratitude means to show some reciprocation. So this is Krishna consciousness, to go deeper and deeper into our desire to revive our relationship with Krishna. And these verses are inspiring us. So are there any reflections or questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you for the nice class. I have a question in the translation of the focus verse. I mean, somebody who is not religious can be unfortunate, old, unintelligent, sickly, or poor. But how can somebody who is really following religious standards can be obnoxious? So I'm just curious why Krishna included this in the list.
You can ask my wife. She'll tell you. Yeah, it's because just like one of these verses previously in the purport, Prabhupada said we should always remember where we were before we got this causeless mercy. Right? Like, what was, like myself, what was my role model, what is my daily activity before I met devotees? I wouldn't even, I don't want to say, but you can imagine, it's just regular Kali Yuga sinful activities. So that was just yesterday, so to speak. So even though the fan may be pulled out, that example of our karmic engagement or our obnoxious activities, it may be pulled out of the wall that we're not continuing the activities, but it's still moving. I still have the body. The body is made from previous sinful. So yeah, we're like, it's a hospital. Just because we're taking the medicine doesn't mean we're cured. So all of us, to different degrees, are diseased. And that diseased mentality is obnoxious. So it'll come out in our words, in our thoughts, to different degrees. But yeah, it's not somebody who's dharmic, they have to judge. But in the purport we see, they said that somebody who's not following properly and is trying to instigate somebody, let's say the husband is instigating the the wife to act sinfully, then he can be given up. Or just like a guru can be given up. He's not a real guru. So in the sense, somebody who's very obnoxious in the sense that they're not trying to rectify themselves, they can be given up if it's harmful for. It's like that. Would you like to add anything? You should give class also. You hear more than anybody here, probably. Anybody else like to share? In the back? What's your name again? Huh?
Sharla.
Sharla.
Thank you for class.
Thank you.
I kind of wanted to respond about Krishna saying that, because he's the speaker of speakers, and so much of what he was saying here is kind of tongue-in-cheek, like teasing. He's alluring them and then saying, oh, you need to go back, but go back to your stupid old husbands, and what do you want to do here with me, the eternal beloved? Like it's a sweet little tongue-in-cheek playfulness in which we're even more attracted to him just by saying that, which is just so lovely. And I wanted to say about the gopis, how they left everything and just to go see Krishna, and that they couldn't even put on their clothes right, which upon thinking about that, I was thinking about how true love for Krishna, I think, has no room for multitasking. He really does demand our full attention in our love for him, and I just think that's really beautiful, even in not putting on clothes and leaving everything going, and just even those things that are muscle memory to us. Imagine if we were driving in a car and we heard Krishna's flute, just wrecking into something just so we could hear him. So that's all I wanted to say.
That being said, we would really appreciate it if everybody came to the temple with clothes on.
Right.
No, it's messing around, but
Exactly.
yeah, that's where we can bring it to our practical lives.
Yeah. Thank
To hear Krishna's call and run.
Hare Krishna, Jai
Hare
Gauranga
Krishna.
Prabhu. Thank you for the nice class.
Thank you.
And I'm actually reading His Holiness Shivaram Swami's book right now. What's it? Pare Naham.
Na
Yeah,
Pare Ham.
which is all about the gopis' love for Krishna. And okay, but I have a confession to make. So sometimes when I'm reading scripture and we hear so much about the Nitya, said as the liberated souls who have these special relationship with Krishna. And sometimes I just feel like, can I just hear about some sadhana bhaktas, please? Some regular people like me who attained perfection. Could can we talk, what are some examples of those devotees that we can emulate? Because sometimes when I hear these pastimes, it is inspiring, and like you said, it does make you want to deepen your relationship with Krishna. But at the same time, sometimes I feel discouraged because I think, well, they're eternally liberated, so what hope do I have?
Yeah, that's why it's like when you have a meal. Nobody likes just one preparation usually, even if it's very delicious. So let's say like this. We taste this like in our practice of hearing and chanting. We have a little bit of this prayojana, the topmost perfection. But we also need to be reinforced by sambandha, abhideya. Sambandha means we have to constantly be remembering, okay, what is the exact relationship with, okay, like basically, oh yeah, I'm saying all these things, basically I'm not off the bodily concept of life, so we have to also go back to the basics, be reinforced. Then abhideya means to practice the theory, right? To practice, okay, I'm not the body, I'm the soul. What does the soul do? Oh, I engages in devotional service to Krishna. Okay, but then, okay, what is devotional service? While I'm engaging, I should have my mind, like our consciousness, on the altar of our consciousness, we should have the prayojana, the goal of the practice also. But at the same time, yeah, that I hear what you're saying. So then it's good. Okay, let's go. So then we go from Srimad Bhagavatam to Chaitanya Charitamrita, right? Then we're like, okay, this was only 500 years ago. Like Krishna's Leela was 5,000 years ago. Now 500 years ago, and you see, okay, how to do all these things? Like the Kirtan of Lord Chaitanya in Srivasangam, that's compared to the Rasa Leela, right? And so we read about Lord Chaitanya, and then there's no access to Radha and Krishna Leela without Lord Chaitanya. So we're Gaudiya Vaishnava, we hear about Lord Chaitanya, we pray to Lord Chaitanya. There's no access to Lord Chaitanya without Nityananda. There's no access to Nityananda without approaching Jagai and Madai, without, okay, going out and sharing. Okay, we hear about Jagai and Madai, that's okay, that's a practical. Then you may say, okay, well that may be, it seems like they were very fallen and they got liberation, but they're also Nityasiddhas. They were Jaya and Vijay, right? So then, okay, then we go from there, then go to Prabhupada Leela. Then we look at the devotees, look at our gurus' lives. There's so many of the personalities, just like Tamal Krishna Maharaj, like when I was giving class in the Denver temple the other day, and one devotee was talking about, I think the verse was talking about remembering where we were before we got the mercy of being connected to the practice. And then he gave the example that Prabhupada went to this nudist colony and that he gave a talk, and that two of the devotees that lived at that nudist colony, hippie commune, were attracted by Prabhupada's words and came to the temple. That was Vishnu Jan Maharaj and Tamal Krishna Maharaj. I mean, look what Tamal Krishna Maharaj has done in the service of Prabhupada, and look at how he affected so many hundreds of thousands see the love of his devotees for him, and how he gave his life to Prabhupada. That's tantamount to Gopi Bhav as far as I'm concerned. That's, sometimes I think like that. I'm chanting japa and I'm like, okay, what's the point of japa? Japa means we're supposed to think of Krishna. What's the point of thinking of Krishna? We want to not just think of Krishna, we want to enter into the leelas of Krishna. So I'm like, okay, I'm not there. I'm not going to like superimpose that I'm picking flowers with gopis and making a garland, and then somebody wakes me up because I'm asleep. Actually, no. But then I think, okay, what was Prabhupada was very practical about the mission of sharing Krishna consciousness. So I feel, okay, to the degree that we follow the words of the founder Acharya and take it in, take it within ourselves and then share it with others, that's Gopi Bhav. We can form a Gopi Bhava club by who can just look around at our God brothers and our God sisters, or look around at the devotees in this community or in the ISKCON world at large, and see how they are absorbed in the mood of service to their gurus. And then see that, just like there's a picture of, it shows the Panchatattva dancing in kirtan, and then above it, it shows the gopis dancing with Krishna. We can make one more layer, show the devotees doing all the different services that Prabhupada has given us, whether it's, we see so many, according to different people's attraction, they're absorbed in different services, right? Some people are more well-rounded and they do a little of everything, do a little pujari service, little book distribution, little harinam, little farm communities, whatever, schools or restaurants. Prabhupada's given us like unlimited avenues to engage ourselves in, to revive our dormant Krishna consciousness. It's all absolute. So yeah, pick one, pick many in our community. You can go right at home, or you can pick our gurus that inspire us and see how they're, giving their entirety to the service of their guru, which is what it means to give yourself to Krishna. Would you like to add anything? Thank you. Yeah, I like bring it home too. It's like one time the devotees told Prabhupada, we don't want to go back to Godhead. We just want to come back and distribute your books. Prabhupada said, this is Gopi Bhav. Is that right? Could be miss. Anybody else like to share? Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Hari Hari.
Krishna Mataji. What you found?
ప్రసాదం బయటికి తీసుకెళ్ళారమ్మా నైనావితకు.
I got it.
చేసినావు. రోజు అయిపోయిన తర్వాత బయటికి
स्थापक लोकानां हितकारिणां त्रिभुवने मन्नं शरण्य श्री चैतन्य कृपा परौ लोकानां हितकारिणां त्रिभुवने मन्नं